Case number 24462. Is Vietnam the next China? Is the prosecution present in court today?
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry,
You may proceed.
Your Honor, I'm Nguyen Nhat Nam, representing Vietnam, the prosecution. Firstly, it is evident that China and Vietnam, both communist countries, have similar economic policies. China introduced the Gai Gai Kai Fang policy in 1978, while in 1986, Vietnam implemented the Doi Moi policy, both for economic development. Even though Vietnam has a relatively high inflation rate, in order to curb it, we have made use of the ERP to depreciate our currency, increasing our export competitiveness. We have also imposed tariff reductions on imports and public sector construction cuts to reduce the cost of production and increase the aggregate supply.
Objection, Your Honor. Even with the policies in place, Vietnam is still experiencing a high inflation rate of 11.8%, which is more than twice of China's inflation rate of 5%. This shows that the ERP is not as efficient in reducing the inflation rate, Your Honor.
I proceed then, Your Honor. Vietnam has become the 150th member of the World Trade Organization in 2007 and has been removed from the list of least developing countries in 2003. From the evidence shown, it can be seen that Vietnam's economy has shown remarkable growth in the past few years. We have also made commitments to further open our markets as part of the WTO accession. With the facts I have produced, I put it to you that Vietnam is indeed the next China.
Defense, mind your behavior. Prosecution, you may proceed.
I rest my case.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm Hong Si Kwa, representing China, the Defense Council. As much as Vietnam aims to be the next China, its population size acts as a barrier in the way of their goal. Vietnam's population is only 84 million, smaller than that of Guangdong, which has a population size of 93 million. Guangdong, a province in China with such a population size, contributes to 30% of China's total exports. How then is Vietnam with a smaller population size able to meet the quantity of China's total exports? Even though Vietnam claims to have a great economic development, they are experiencing a time lag. According to The Economist dated 20th May 2011, Vietnam is almost a decade behind China in terms of their economic growth. As seen from the statistics, Vietnam is more of an agricultural-based economy, whereas China is focusing on the services sector.
Objection, Your Honor. The size of our agricultural sector reflects our comparative advantage and not our stage of development. We are one of the world's biggest exporters of catfish and corn, Your Honor, and we are indeed using that to our advantage to decrease our opportunity cost of production.
Objection sustained. Defense, you may not proceed.
My apology, Your Honor. I'll move on. Like I mentioned before, the exchange rate policy is not entirely effective in reducing inflation. By depreciating their currency, the imports become more expensive in Vietnam, causing the inflation rate to increase. The increase in export competitiveness in Vietnam is not significant enough to reduce the inflation rate. Another reason for the inflation rate in Vietnam is that Vietnam's national demand has long exceeded its national supply, and thus, when the demands keep increasing and the supplies remains the same, the price increases. Over time, this will result in a sustained increase in price levels, causing inflation. In addition to inflation, Vietnam also has a trade deficit of US $1.7 billion in May 2011 and a budget deficit of $5.3 billion in 2011. This shows that the policies implemented by Vietnam are not effective enough. At this rate, I can say that it's near impossible for Vietnam to reach our economic standards, Your Honor. To sum up my case, Your Honor, with the arguments I presented before this very court, Vietnam has shown signs of economic trouble, an aspect which China has conquered long ago. Without being able to solve the fundamental issues Vietnam is currently facing, I find it rather amusing that my learned friend here has pursued this case, Your Honor. Vietnam might be the next Asian tiger, but definitely not the next China. And with that, the defense rests its case. Thank you, Your Honor.
Looking at the arguments presented before this court, in the case of Vietnam, I would advise the country to implement the fiscal and monetary policy to curb its inflation. By using the contractionary fiscal policy, the government expenditure will be reduced. On the other hand, a more politically favorable option is to use the contractionary monetary policy to increase the interest rates. This will reduce the consumption of the country on the whole. Thus, by using these two policies, the aggregate demand of Vietnam can be reduced to meet the aggregate supply, causing the demand pull inflation to be under control. Overall, Vietnam has taken measures to reach its goal of becoming the next China. On the other hand, China has also produced substantial evidence to prove its case. Weighing both sides, the court has decided
that Vietnam is the next China, right, Your Honor?
No, Your Honor, that's just impossible. Dish. 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 Dish.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
Dish. Dish.
court adjourned.